Heroes of Magic and Cards is an inventive poker-powered roguelike deck builder by a small indie studio, First Day Entertainment. I was offered a code from them for the demo campaign, and seeing that it was a roguelike builder had me intrigued, since if you are unaware, I am a massive fan of the indie game Balatro. It is a game that I never really thought much about when I played it back in May of 2024, but over time I have played this game for hundreds of hours on both PC and phone. I also hope that I was really into the roguelike genre of games, with Hades and Cult of Lands being some of my favorites. So after ruminating on it a bit, I accepted the offer and was given access to the demo, and needless to say, I had a fun time with it. I want to make this clear before I get into the demo. I was offered the code, but I did not let that cloud my thoughts on this demo. What you are hearing are my real thoughts on the demo and the 3 runs I did for this video. Let's get into it. The main gist of the story in this game is that you are Ironhoof and you have almost been claimed by the shadows. But every time that you fall, you come back to the start of the game. So it is basically a loop similar to Groundhog Day or Palm Springs. It's basically a way for the game to tell you that you will learn with each run of the game, and that is really all that there is to the story of the game. But the real meat in this game is definitely the gameplay. Just like in other deck builders, you are offered a preset hand of cards. In this case, the standard deck of cards that we all know with numbers, jacks, queens, and kings, with all 4 suits. Before you start the game, you are offered 3 relics to take with you to give an enhancement for combat, but after that you are given the roadmap to the first boss. There are 5 situations that you can run into on a roadmap, which are enemy situations, where you battle regular enemies, the campsite, which is your resting area, the marketplace, where you can buy things with the money you earn from battles, events, which can lead to random situations you can choose the outcome of, treasure chests, which give you a relic to take for free, and elite enemies, which are similar to mini-bosses. Like other roadmaps, you start with one situation, which if you complete, can lead to the other situations that you can choose. I like roadmaps in the roguelike games, since it can lead to many different outcomes for each map you complete, making each run feel different from the last, while also encouraging replay value to see what other paths you could take. Now let's get into the combat of the game. When it is your turn, you are given 3 random cards in your deck. As Ironhoof, you have 2 actions to take, Valiant Strike or Block. Valiant Strike is an attack where it takes the total value of the 2 cards you pick and turns it into his attack power. Block is what it sounds like. You block the amount of damage the value your card is. What makes Block unique is that it requires a black card to be used, so there is a bit of strategy when it comes to using the actions you have in this demo. You could try to use your high value cards to do an attack on the enemy, but one of those cards is a high value black card that can protect you from a dangerous hit, so you have to think about what you are going to do. Enemies show you what they are going to do in their turn, which could be an attack, giving you a negative effect, taking away a card in your hand, adding extra hit points to themselves, or healing themselves. The icon on the top left of their sprite will tell you what they are going to do next, which I think is a smart indicator of what to do next. I also like that while you can block, you aren't devoid of taking damage, as certain attacks can be more powerful than the ace card, which has a value of 11. So it makes you really work hard for blocking and wanting to get the fight done. The final thing to talk about with combat is rage. When you attack an enemy, your rage meter fills up a little bit. When it is full, you can activate it to give yourself 50% more attack power on your next attack ability. This is basically an attack buff, which can be very helpful when fighting elite enemies or bosses. While in most games where there is combat, I like to take a more aggressive approach to enemies, but this game really wants you to have a blend of attacking power and defensive capabilities. After beating an enemy or elite enemy, you are offered an enchantment, which can net you many perks like adding reinforce to your cards, turning 2 cards into space cards, etc. This is a mechanic I am used to thanks to Balatro. These perks are made to help you net a fighting chance against enemies you fight. I typically try to go for a certain build of perks depending on the perk that I am given, which I recommend doing when you are playing a roguelike deck builder. The next scenario is the elite enemy, which is a stronger enemy you fight. Nothing too dissimilar to how you go about fights, but when you defeat an elite enemy, you are given an enchantment card and a relic or item. A relic is an item that can give you permanent perks in battling, like healing 2 HP every time you play a heart card, giving you 3 more points in power, etc. Relics can also help you in deciding what type of hand you want to play in the game, so I think it'd be worth it to fight an elite enemy. Next is the event scenario. You are given a scenario where you are given a choice to take the offer or to ignore/deny it. Most of the time it's a perk, but sometimes it could be a detriment and you can lose HP by denying it, so sometimes you have to either accept what you are given or suffer the consequences of not taking it. Next is the merchant. The merchant allows you to buy perks for your cards, relics to equip, or items to help you in battles. Gold can only be attained for battle, so you have to be able to choose the right paths to really take advantage of the marketplace, but if you do, it can be really helpful in turning the tables of the run. Then there is the treasure chest. which gives you an option of 3 random relics to take, which is a plus if you ask me. Not much to it. The final scenario is the campsite. When you are at a campsite, you have 3 options given to you. You can rest to restore your HP, you can go fishing, and you can learn new abilities in the ability book. I think rest is self-explanatory. Fishing allows you to catch a fish that can give you a perk like healing you, which can come in helpful. The ability book gives you new abilities that can give you a lot of advantages or even level up your abilities. I like how you are given the campsite scenario before the boss, so that you have a chance to prepare before the fight. The boss in this demo that I fought was the Golden Burrower. His main thing is that for 2 of your turns, he is above ground and does a lot of damage to you, but when you attack him enough times, he can go underground and give you status effects and heal himself up. He was hard to fight at first, but once I picked up how he worked a few runs into this game, I got the rhythm of him down and defeated him. When you defeat him, you are given an item, coins, an enchantment, and a relic, which, if you ask me, might be a bit overboard, since it can lead to the player feeling more powerful, though we'll have to see if that holds up since the demo ends after defeating the Golden Burrower. I overall had a really fun time with this game. Like most roguelites, the first playthrough is not going to be the run to click with you. Once I learned about the ability system and all that the game had to offer in terms of its paths and mechanics, I was really into it, and after grabbing all the footage I needed for this demo to get all I needed for this video, I went back to play some more and learn some new strats and abilities that made playing more of the game more rewarding. If you like Balatro, roguelites, or deck building games, I think this game would be right up your alley. The demo will be available on November 5th, so be on the lookout for it. I'll have a link to the Steam page in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this short little video, and as always, have a nice day.